Hello and welcome to the virtual Open Day 2020 at UCL. I'm Dr. Suzanne Ruddy, Senior Teaching Fellow in the Department of Structural Molecular Biology, and I'm going to describe to you the degrees that we run under the banner of Molecular Biosciences. These are the degrees of Biochemistry, Bachelor of Science and Master of Science, BSc and MSci, both of those options with year in industry, and also our Molecular Biology BSc degree, which is a second-year entry programme. That means that you don't apply for it through UCAS to come in as a first year, but you would be offered the option to transfer to Molecular Biology in second year. So our degrees, the standard degree, if you like, is the BSc Biochemistry, which, as you can see, runs for 3 years. This has an option to take a year in industry before your final year, so that would mean that your degree is extended to a 4-year degree. The Biochemistry MSci degree programme is also a 4-year degree. You can enter as a first year on the MSci programme, but you can also transfer at the end of second year Bachelor of Science to Master of Science on meeting academic criteria. The MSci programme also has the option to take a year in industry, again, before your final year, which would make this in total a 5-year degree programme. So what qualifications will you need if you want to study one of our degrees? If you're taking A-levels, we ask for chemistry, biology and maths specifically, all at A grade. If you're taking the IB diploma, we ask for 38 points with the 3 higher level subjects of biology, chemistry and maths to total 18 points and none any lower than 5 points. Our degrees are structured so that you will take every year a total of 120 credits. This is made up of modules, each of which are worth either 15 or 30 credits. And every year of the degree counts towards the calculation for your final degree classification. First year counts for 1/9, second year 3/9, and third year 5/9. As I mentioned earlier, our standard programme was a 3-year degree, and when the MSci was introduced as a 4th year, the 4th year was weighted similarly to the 3rd year for the BSc. In other words, also 5/9. So what will you study during your degree? In both biochemistry and molecular biology, we look at the structure and the function of very large molecules, macromolecules, for example, proteins and nucleic acids. We also look at the synthesis of these and how they are expressed and regulated within the cell. So in order to do that, you will take these following topics: a considerable amount of organic and physical chemistry, metabolism, which is the structure, the function of the fuels of the body, cell physiology, in other words, how cells control their environments and communicate with each other, and also cell structure and function at the molecular and the biochemical level. And also how these operate under normal circumstances, but what goes wrong when disease develops. In addition, because biochemistry or molecular biology is an experimental subject or a research-based subject, you will also design experiments and use these to investigate problems. So the actual subjects that you will take in first year are defined. You take 6 modules, of which we have listed here: biochemistry and molecular biology, chemistry for biologists, introduction to microbiology, experimental biochemistry, introduction to genetics, and cells in development. These are obligatory and you have no choice. Choice comes in second year. There are again some compulsory modules, 4 of them, as listed in the box here. But you will also be able to choose one of either the principles of cellular control or the chemistry of biologically important molecules. And this is one of the deciders as to whether you will remain as a biochemist or transfer to molecular biology. Students sometimes prefer to leave biochemistry behind, largely in first year, and move on to molecular aspects, and that would entail them choosing the principles of molecular or cellular control, as listed here. If you were to choose chemistry of biologically important molecules, you would more than likely retain your degree as biochemistry. In second year, you will also have 15 credits worth of free choice. You can select from a wide range of modules, anything that is appropriate to your level of knowledge and also doesn't clash with your current modules. In third year then, the choice element increases. We have 2 compulsory modules, each worth 30 credits in third year. One is your literature project, your dissertation, a review of published literature on a topic of your choosing. And the other is an advanced practical module where you will have bench work and data analysis coupled with a write-up that will replace a traditional laboratory project. So that's 60 credits. The remaining 60 credits are optional modules that you can choose as you please from options that will suit your interests. Again, we have to stipulate that clashes aren't included in your choices. So that takes you to third year. What about fourth year? Fourth year, it all changes and it's all about the research. In fourth year, the biochemistry MSci, in other words, there is no formal lecturing as such, and the focus is entirely on research and research methods. As such, you will take an extended research project and spend 6 months in a lab as a functioning lab member with your own project. You'll explore all aspects of scientific communication, scientific writing, news and views, original articles. You'll write your own scientific paper. You'll attend seminars and lab meetings to discuss your report, your results, and your colleagues. You will also present oral and poster presentations, and at the end of your MSci, you will have an oral defense of your work, in other words, a viva examination. So that constitutes our degree programs of Biochemistry MSci, Biochemistry BSc, and Molecular Biology. The remaining option is to include a year in industry, which, as I said, is available to both BSc and MSci students. Now, the biochemistry, the year in industry placement is a competitive option, and it's to take a placement in an industrial setting after your second if you're a BSc student or third if you're an MSci student years. You would transfer to the degree programme of biochemistry with year in industry. And while you're on placement, you are an employee of the host placement provider, as well as being enrolled as a UCL student. UCL do not charge tuition fees whilst you are on placements. And you may earn a salary. You need to pass the year in order to progress to the following year. And that assessment is pass-fail only by dissertation and an oral presentation. Although marks are nominally awarded for your year in industry and recorded on your transcript, this does not contribute to the calculation for your overall degree classification. So there we have the different options for our degrees in molecular biosciences. Where do our students end up? This is the most recent data that is available. It was due to be updated before the lockdown, but unfortunately that hasn't occurred. And as you can see, a similar proportion of students of BSc and MSci go on to further study, and a similar proportion go on to work. The difference is that a higher proportion of students on the MSci programme enter PhD programmes as opposed to the BScs. BScs will tend to enter into master's programmes, of which some examples are shown here on the right, and PhD examples are shown in the box underneath. Molecular biology students tend to go into work more often than into future study, but a good proportion of them do also continue with PhDs. Employers for our students, whether biochemistry, molecular biology, or BSc or MSci, are shown here, and as well as the perhaps more obvious routes of academia, health, biopharma, or technology and data science, lots of our students go into education, for example, teaching. Many students go into communications, particularly scientific communications, and we always have students who go into business programs or business services or into the finance sector. Our degrees in molecular biosciences are considered logical, demanding, and numeric, all of which are transferable skills required by these industries. So in summary, our 5 molecular biosciences degrees, the BSc, Biochemistry, Biochemistry with Year in Industry, or Molecular Biology, are complemented with the MSci programmes of Biochemistry or Biochemistry with Year in Industry at MSci level.